Hi, welcome back. In today's video, I would like to talk about trauma responses because they are very interesting and maybe you are experiencing one of them and you don't even know about it. You don't notice it. I'm Gosia Klembowska. Welcome to my channel. So, what is actually trauma? Trauma is the situation that you couldn't process at that moment. Simply, you weren't able to process it and it is stuck in your system. And the trauma can sabotage you and you don't even know about it. You might think, oh, it was 30 years ago, I'm done with it, I don't think about it. But your subconscious mind didn't forget it. And your body, and it's still sabotaging you. There are so many adults who went through childhood trauma and now um, they experience limiting beliefs or toxic relationships, or there are underachievers. So first, let's talk about trauma responses, and in the next video I'm gonna talk about how you can behave having having trauma in your body. What are the symptoms? So first, trauma response is the flight reaction. It's running away from the danger. The flight response is activated when we feel the need to escape or avoid the threat. For instance, you are in Kenya, you see the lion, and you feel that you need to escape, and you're trying to escape. Or imagine you're walking home at night and notice someone following you. Instantly, your heart races and you feel an overwhelming urge to run away. You might speed up. You might look for other streets. Your body is preparing to escape, and that is the flight reaction. The second reaction is fight, confronting the threat. The fight response is triggered when we decide to stand up to our confront and perceived threat. For instance, you are at the family gathering and someone makes an offensive comment about your appearance, and you feel an urge to fight for yourself. You respond to this person. The argument starts. The fight responses is your body preparing to confront and defend itself against the source of the threat. The body is preparing to confront and defeat itself against the source of the threat. The third trauma response is freeze, playing dead to avoid detection. This response is very typical for animals, right? They play that they're dead, or they escape, or they play dead. The freeze response happens when you feel overwhelmed and are unable to escape, so your body essentially freezes in an attempt to stay unnoticed. And I will give you an example from my life. Once I was on vacation with a friend of mine. She went to the bathroom, she stepped on something, and then she noticed an animal on the floor. And she started screaming, red, 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 and she escaped. Knowing that rats can be big and they can even attack the human being, I went to a freeze reaction. I was standing there in the room and not moving. I wasn't able to move, and I was thinking what to do. It's a rat, it can attack me, but I wasn't able to move like for sure for a minute. But then I heard voices of other people and I was able to move. I thought I'm not alone. I went to the bathroom and there was a tiny little mouse on the floor. It wasn't a rat, it was like this small mouse on the floor, already dead because she stepped on it. So that was my freeze reaction. The fourth one is flop, giving up or collapsing. The flop response occurs when the stress or threat becomes too much and we collapse or we give up. And here is the example. You've been working long hours on a project and despite your best efforts, your boss tells you it's still not up to standard. At that moment, you feel completely defeated and overwhelmed. You might physically or emotionally collapse, losing motivation to continue or even start to withdraw from the situation. This is the flop response, where the pressure feels too great to handle. Next one, fawn reaction, people pleasing to avoid conflict. It's very typical for small children. The fawn response happens when we try to please others to avoid conflict, often at the expense of our own needs. When the father is abusive or not present or aggressive to a child, the child might start doing nice things for the father, singing, trying to hug, doing what the father asks, forgetting about their own needs, just to please the father, just to get this little bit of attention. This is the fawn response, driven by a fear of confrontation and a desire to maintain approval from others. And the last one, the frog response, leaping into action or distraction. The frog response is when we react to stress by jumping into action or distraction, often as a way to avoid dealing with overwhelming emotions. And here comes the example. You've had a tough day at work and you get home feeling stressed. Instead of addressing your feelings, you immediately start cleaning the house, organizing, or driving into a project. You might even begin watching TV or scrolling through social media. The frog response is like a mental leap, focusing on anything else to avoid facing the emotions or stress that you're actually feeling. It's your brain's way of distracting itself from difficult feelings. Trauma responses, flight, fight, freeze, flop, fawn, and frog, are our body's instinctive ways of dealing with stress, danger, or emotional overwhelm. While these reactions are natural, understanding them helps to uh, recognize when we are acting out of survival mode rather than making deliberate choices. If you find these responses are affecting your well-being, it's okay to seek help. There's a way, there is always room for healing and learning how to manage these reactions. And the awareness is on the first place. Look at your life, look at your reaction, look at the patterns in your life, and check from which level you react. Which reaction is typical for you? Are you a people's pleaser? Or maybe you freeze when there's a confrontation. Check your life for patterns and you will know. I hope you liked it. and I see you in the next video. If you like my videos, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Bye!